Have you ever wondered if those budget dough mixers are actually worth buying or if they all perform about the same? Because after testing the HaiiuzHi Dough Mixer and the AIZIYO Dough Chef side by side with sourdough, I found one difference that surprised me. And over the next few weeks, I'll be comparing these against hand mixers, stand mixers, and other bread mixers to see where these budget machines really fit. Both of these mixers are designed specifically for bread dough, and they're among the most popular lower-cost options available. Mine are different sizes. The HaiiuzHi is the 5.3 quart model, and the AIZIYO is a 7.4 quart, but both brands actually sell both sizes. The 5 quart models are generally enough for about 2 loaves, depending on your recipe, while the 7 quart versions can usually handle 3 to 4. The first thing I noticed wasn't how they mixed. It was the build quality. The AIZIYO immediately feels heavier and more substantial. Everything fits together the way you'd expect, and it gives the impression that it was designed with a little more attention to detail. If you're finding this comparison helpful, I've linked both mixers in the description so you can check current availability. And if you're interested in honest comparisons between budget and premium kitchen appliances, subscribe. Looking closer, there were several more small differences. On the HaiiuzHi, the ingredient lid fit extremely tightly. It was basically unusable since I couldn't remove it while the larger lid was still on the bowl. The AIZIYO's lid was easy to use. I also noticed the dough hook on the AIZIYO scraped much closer to the bottom of the bowl. The HaiiuzHi consistently left a thin layer of dough on the very bottom that I had to scrape up manually, and it was a bigger mess to clean in the end. Neither machine struggled with the dough itself. For this test, I used my regular sourdough recipe, which comes to about 1,200 grams of ingredients. The AIZIYO handled it without any issues. And based on the available space, I could have comfortably mixed enough dough for 2 loaves and possibly 3 in the 7.4 quart model. The HaiiuzHi also mixed the recipe well, and I think the 5.3 quart version could probably handle 2 loaves depending on how large your recipe is. Both mixers produced a smooth, well-developed dough. I couldn't test the fermentation function on the sourdough since it's supposed to rise slowly over time, but I did turn it on afterward and both bowls were warm but not hot. After mixing, I left the dough in each machine's mostly airtight bowl for the initial rise. Both batches rose beautifully. And once baked, both loaves turned out excellent. So, after using both, if your only concern is whether they'll successfully make bread, the answer is yes. Both mixers produced excellent sourdough, eliminating the need for all those stretch and folds. But if I were spending my own money today, I'd choose the AIZIYO. The better fitting parts, higher quality construction, and dough hook that reaches closer to the bottom all add up to a noticeably better overall experience. If you'd like to check current pricing or specifications, I've linked both mixers below. I'll also put the sourdough recipe I swear by down there. It's kind of a cheater, but it works every time. And subscribe because I've got more mixer comparisons coming soon, including how these budget machines compare to traditional stand mixers and whether spending more actually gets you better bread.